The fight against COVID and the growing concerns over the Omicron variant. Take a live look at the White House. This morning, we are learning new details about the plan President Biden will announce today in an attempt to curb the spread of this new variant after the first case was confirmed here in the U.S. in California.
The person traveled from South Africa on November 22nd and tested positive on November 29th. They were vaccinated but did not have a booster. Symptoms were mild and the person has already recovered. Matt Gutman is live now in San Francisco with more on that first case. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. Authorities say that everybody who came into close contact with that traveler has tested negative, but authorities say that it is very likely that this variant is going to be spread within the community. Now, to combat that, the president rolling out his winter strategy focusing heavily on boosters, but for the first time, insurance reimbursement for those at-home test kits.
This morning, as officials urge calm about the first case of Omicron in the U.S.,
but it is also certainly not a cause for us to panic.
The White House rolling out a list of actions to combat it, starting with new steps to, quote, ensure the nearly 100 million eligible Americans who have not received boosters get one as soon as possible. The administration saying it also plans to make at-home rapid tests free, extend mask requirement on public transit, and require more stringent testing protocols for all international travelers. So far, most of the world's Omicron cases are connected to southern Africa, which is also where that first U.S. patient had been prior to landing in San Francisco on November 22nd. 3 days later, on Thanksgiving, the traveler feeling symptoms, and 4 days after that, on the 29th, testing positive, self-reporting to authorities.
The person was very proactive, and upon knowing that they were infected, they contacted the San Francisco Department of Public Health.
And that positive sample arriving at Dr. Charles Chu's lab on November 30th.
In this case, because of the travel history, we decided to prioritize the sequencing.
The patient had been fully vaccinated but was not yet due for a booster, officials saying the person's close contacts have all tested negative. That first case discovered as the CDC directed airlines on Wednesday to provide contact information of all passengers who had been to Africa. With 30 mutations in the virus's spike protein alone, this image showing how different Omicron is from Delta.
The molecular profile of the kinds of mutations that you see would suggest, A, that it might be more transmissible and that it might elude some of the protection of vaccines.
That unknown driving crowds to vaccination sites. At some pharmacies, slots for boosters booked for weeks.
The availability dates were getting pushed into next week and the week after, so I just knew we would be in this area, and we tried something more local, and that one worked out for us.
Now, at the start of the pandemic, it might have taken several weeks to sequence a new variant, but now, with the help of this gizmo at this lab, they managed to sequence it in just 5 hours. And the doctor who sequenced the virus said it's actually a good thing that it's in the United States because now they have a viable sample. That will help them determine whether, in fact, this new variant is more transmissible, more virulent than the Delta variant, but they caution that it could take weeks to make that determination. George.
Thanks, Matt. Let's bring in our friend Dr. Ashish Jha, Dean of the Brown University School of Public Health. Dr. Jha, thanks for joining us again this morning. Inevitable that Omicron would hit our shores. What should we expect next?
Yeah, good morning, George. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, this is not surprising. We knew this was coming. At this point, there are a couple of things for me that I think are be important. One is to track the spread of this variant across our country using both genomic sequencing and just regular testing. And then the second is to see how people are doing, see how vaccinated people are doing with this infection, see how unvaccinated people are doing, seeing if it's causing milder or more severe disease. Those are all things that are going to be critical to watch in the days and weeks ahead.
There seems to be a difference of opinion among the chief pharmaceutical executives about whether the vaccine is going to be effective against this variant. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, so we just need more data at this point. We just don't know. I think there is reason to be concerned that our vaccines may take a hit. I'm pretty confident if you're fully boosted, you're going to have a high degree of protection, but we'll know more in the next week to 10 days, George.
And that's part of the president's plan that we just heard about. How do you assess the president's plan?
I like it. Look, it's comprehensive. We have to take a multifaceted approach, right? We've got to have testing. People have to be wearing masks indoors in crowded places. Obviously, people really should be getting boosted. Those are all the tools that we have developed over the last 20 months, and we need to deploy them all right now.
And we really do have to expand the boosters at this point, right? I mean, and there's some talk about whether all college students should get their booster for 2022.
Yeah, I really believe everybody 18 and above should get a booster. To me, the data on this is very clear, has been clear for several months now. That would obviously include almost all college students, not only because they will protect themselves, but they'll also slow down the spread. So I think boosters for all adult Americans is the right way to go at this point.
Dr. Jha, thanks as always for your time and your information.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.